This is Emmanuel, and in just 3 weeks, he found the deal of a lifetime, negotiated an offer, got it accepted, found the EMD from a third party, me, and then found the buyer to sell it. Now, how did he do all of that? He's a member of the Flip Flop Flipper Apex community. And inside of Apex, he was able to find the buyer who's an operator. He was able to find someone who wanted to put up the money, and he's got the deal of a lifetime done, and is going to make $40,000 on his very first deal. So if that sounds good to you, and you want to be like Emmanuel, comment Apex, and I'll send you the link.
Welcome, Apex. If
to the Monday Night Live.
Doing it. We got 12 people right off the rip. Hello, everybody. Say
Give us
hello.
a like.
Let us know.
We got 13 people watching. 3 of them likes, and 1 of them's me.
Oh,
so we only have 2 likes.
Oh my God!
Let me like it too.
Today we're broadcasting live straight from Robert's closet.
This is literally, I moved the laundry out from behind Don as he was setting up. We have propped up on top of a cushion from our outside furniture on a guest bed,
which is now inside furniture.
And yeah, I hope the picture's not too bad. Don's pretty unhappy with the lighting.
This is shit.
But we are where we are, and this is going to be the best Monday Night Live ever. It's Monday Night Live number 77, you guys. If you're watching, hit that like button. You know how we do and how we do it. We answer all of your questions. As long as you've got questions, we'll keep going. I put it out there a couple times today. I even went live earlier and invited people to come and ask their questions. I even opened it up there for the people who hate us to come and ask some questions if they really want to get to know us. But more
we'll
than
give you the right as a gringo to come to this island, huh?
What's that?
That's their question.
What is the question?
What gives you the right as a gringo to come to this island and make money, huh?
I just,
that U.S. passport, baby.
The U.S. passport gives me the right. We got 11 likes, 11 watching.
Well, guys, great. Robert has big announcements. He told us that he said he was going to tell us, and he hasn't told us. So we're excited to hear what's going on now.
Well, you guys kind of know. But, okay, real quick, we don't do a lot of announcements in front of these things anymore. We used to do more of them. But we are doing our first meet and greet. I would call it a networking event, a powerful networking event where we are inviting everyone from our Apex group. We've put it on Eventbrite. McKenna, is it on Eventbrite? Can anybody come?
It is. I'll put the link in the chat.
And it's $200 to come to the event?
Yep.
But if you're an Apex member,
you get to come.
That's right.
As part of the membership.
No extra fee.
Yeah.
Anybody else that's not an Apex member, you have 2 options. You can join Apex or you can pay the fee. And we're charging a fee because there's going to be food, there's going to be drinks. It's going to be a brand new, beautiful home. We're going to be able to tell you from A to Z what we did there. You'll be able to ask the flip-flop flipper himself.
We'll do a little presentation with before and afters. This is a first-time ever reveal.
I think it'd be fair to say that Robert spent $2 million on this event.
No.
Almost, a little bit.
A million something on the house.
Yeah. And then food and catering.
I think that's what we should advertise it as. 2 million, but we're over $1 million anyway.
This is the fanciest event I've ever been to. I've never been to an event where someone spent $2 million on it. I mean,
yeah, we're literally going to pull lawn chairs into the thing and set them up. It's going to be fancy. I mean, red Solo cup because we don't want
pizza
and a piece of pizza.
That's
red Solo
right.
Cup and a slice. But we're going to have some really great realtors there, some people that are in our Apex community, some people that aren't in our Apex community. We're going to invite some of the local realtors who are in the neighborhood who are selling some of these multi-million-dollar homes. And we are truly going to treat it sort of like a networking event, an open house with a little presentation and a little snack. So what would you call that? I mean, this is like networking and reveal all in one, everything on steroids.
You get to meet the whole flip-flop flipper team. So
it should be pretty fun. And I've really got my foot on the gas to finish it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Guys, and bring your bathing suits. You're more than welcome to jump in the pool.
But that's not all.
Oh.
That's not the only announcement. So not only are we doing this event and you guys are invited and we would love to have you come. And if you're part of Apex, you get to come as a part of the Apex. If you're not part of Apex, it's $200. But also tomorrow night, the price of Apex is going up for the first time in like 6 months
months.
or something. So we have continued to kind of increase the value that we offer inside of Apex. We've certainly increased the amount of deals that are happening because of Apex and the partnerships that are going on. As the group gets bigger and bigger, it just gets better and better. So, I mean, just this afternoon, we were meeting with some new Apex members who came out to check out one of our renovations going on in Aguadilla. And so we're really hoping that this community continues to grow and go in this direction where we can partner together, do more real estate deals together, learn together, all of the things. Plus, we're fixing things up on the island of Puerto Rico. We're then selling them back to locals, creating homeowners, doing all kinds of good things. So if you want to get into the Apex group, this will be my big push for the night. Join today because the price goes up tomorrow. We have added in,
and you lock in that price, by the way.
You lock in that price for as long as you're a member, yeah. And we've added in this thing called Go High Level, which if you don't know what Go High Level is this incredible CRM that allows you to just basically track everything in your life. You can put your whole Rolodex in there. You can run renovations through there. We are setting it up so that real estate investors can use this thing, Go High Level, to really catapult their business. And so everybody who's in Apex is going to have access to this as long as they're a member of Apex. Is that right, McKenna?
That's right. For
That's
free,
right.
Included. Now, a couple people have asked me, hey, I have to put my credit card in. We're not paying for your texts and your emails and your website domain, but all of that stuff costs pennies. So, I think it's less than a penny to send an email, guys.
We have been using Go High Level now for 6 or 8 months?
Yeah.
And we send out kind of a lot of texts,
a bajillion,
a ton of emails. And I don't think we haven't spent thousands of dollars on that at all. I mean, you probably know better than I do, McKenna, but I'm thinking that it's less than a few $100 over a 6-month period of time, and we really use the hell out of it.
That would be wrong. We've spent more than that, but
that would be wrong. We're spending more.
It's more.
But we send out an extraordinarily large amount of texts and emails.
We have a big email list, a big text list, so it's very different for us. For people using it for a smaller business, you shouldn't have the same issues.
I will say for our first 6 months, we did not spend very much, but the list grows and grows and grows, and we keep talking to people.
You see how powerful this thing is, though, guys? We're able to send out all these emails, and I don't even know how much it costs. That's what you could do as well.
You could hit the button. What are the dates for the meet and greet? I live in Irvine, California. It's July 19th.
July 19th. Man, I don't expect a whole bunch of people to fly in.
I do
for it. I know last time we were going to do just a simple carpool, and we ended up renting a Greyhound bus. Yeah. Someone asked me today how many people did we think would show up, and they're like, well, 100 people show up. And I'm like, there's no way 100 people are going to show up. But if you're interested, leave it in the comment. Let us know, because we are trying to figure that out. We
already have 24 people RSVP.
Holy cow.
Fuck yeah.
Well, that's shocking to me. I love that. I really thought we'd be at that 30 or 40 people, but hey, if we can fill the room, I mean, we've got plenty of room. It's a 6,000 square foot house, and we've got indoor and outdoor space. We'll put 100 people there easy.
As people come in, we'll just push the other people into the pool. We'll start making space.
That's right.
We'll just throw people into the pool.
Exactly.
I want to throw the pool guy into the pool.
I want to drown the pool guy in the pool.
I think we should do that tomorrow for YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want to drown him. I just want to throw it.
Hey, we can't send you the final check on the pool unless we get a video of us pushing you in the pool.
We can't send you the final check until we see if you can last 10 minutes with.
All right, so guys, I guess those are our announcements, right? Price is going up in Apex. We haven't raised the price in a long time. We've added in Go High Level. We've started doing the Shark Tank on Tuesday, where we have the Apex members bring their deals and we deep dive in them. We tell you if it's something that you should run to the bank to get, or if it's something that you should run for your life from buying, and everything in between. So, and now we still do our master classes on Thursdays, and now we've added in Go High Level. So, and we'll continue to do things like these live events and just
try and add value, pour in value to you guys. Our idea is that we could do more real estate together than we can apart.
Yes.
So
Let's start the questions.
This works best if you guys ask a whole bunch of questions. The more questions you ask, we'll sit here and answer them.
There's 28 people watching. We need 28 likes. And if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for?
And 28 questions. All right. We do have a question here. Murat says event is 7/19. One more time. And the link is here. If you guys scroll up to the top, you can click that Eventbrite link. If you're a member of Apex, go into the community and you'll see the discount code. It's you just got to apply it. It's 100% off. First question. I know that it's impossible to give an estimate due to unreliable workers, but based on your experience in Puerto Rico, what is a fair estimate of time from when you buy a property to when you put it for sale?
Ooh. So that is a great question. It's something that we're constantly kind of asking ourselves. I think the best way to answer it probably right now is we're doing a renovation on a foreclosure sale flip. And we bought that about 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, 8 weeks.
And the contractor today told me that we're 2 weeks away. So I'm thinking that we're 6 weeks away from being done.
I think we could get it done in 2 weeks.
We could definitely get it done in 2 weeks. I just don't have confidence that we will. I actually did a short today where we were there before lunch and they told me we'd be done in 2 weeks. Then we came back after lunch kind of as a surprise, and lo and behold, no one was there. Yeah. Now, Adon says there are reasons, somebody went on a drug bender and another person had a birthday or something. There were things to celebrate. People were lost, whatever.
It's okay. They'll be back tomorrow.
They'll be back tomorrow.
But my team is different from most contractors. You have an estimation of a flip should take about 6 months here on the island compared to something in Florida that could take 3.
Yeah, if I'm doing a renovation in Florida, I want to get it done in a month. Yeah. Like that would be a full on. We do everything, roof to floors, everything in between. We're hoping to get it done in a month. And then we like that 3-month process of buy it the first month, renovate it the second month, sell it the third month. On the island, if we can have it for sale somewhere between month 4 and month 6, we're doing pretty good. Yeah. And if we can sell it somewhere between month 5 and month 8, we're still doing pretty good.
So our first foreclosure was like that. We got it done in 6 months.
We bought it and sold it, renovated it and sold it. And it was a big renovation in just over 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just over 6 months. So
we want to better these numbers and we're working on strategies to do that once we figure it out.
And we're getting a little better at it. You've built a team now where you've got guys that are willing to go and spend the night and actually they get a lot done.
Man, they've been staying there.
Yeah.
And they work night. They send me videos at night, them working.
Yeah.
So, wow. It's good.
The other guys were teasing today saying that block wall that they put up, they probably did it at night.
Yeah. There was no light. They knew it was going straight somehow.
So what would you guys summarize? You buy a house, takes
in Puerto Rico, it's a 6-month process, I would say.
We're trying. That's what we're shooting for, McKenna. On a foreclosure flip from the day we buy it to the day we sell it, we're aiming for 6 months.
Now you can run into things like maybe a title's not good and they want a 60-day extension and stuff like that. But, and 6 months is the thing.
And a 1 month renovation that we would do in Florida, we're trying to be doing it in 3 months here.
Okay. All right.
And I think that there's certainly room for us to improve, right? Like
there's a bunch of things that could be improved.
There's certainly room to improve.
It's one at a time. My whole goal with this foreclosure is improve my contractor.
Yeah.
If I can get a solid contractor, the next thing is finding a kitchen guy that can really build stuff out. And then from there,
for one of us, we're not going to do it, but someone in the community to build a reliable contracting company on the island of Puerto Rico, you could make so much money.
Yeah, you could really print money if you can prove that you can show up and get things done and do good work.
Yeah,
you don't even have to be super cheap. Like we're done with trying to get the cheapest on the island. We're wanting to get people that'll show up and do good work, and we're willing to pay. I would say we're willing to pay a pretty good premium. We don't want to be treated like retail. I say this in Florida. I don't want to be treated like a Winter Park housewife because I'm going to have another job next month for the contractors. I'll keep the plywood in front of them, and I expect that I'm going to get the best deal. But the difference between wholesale, which is where we're at, and retail has shrunk, right? Like it's definitely, I can't get done today what I could get done 4 years ago, for sure. On the island of Puerto Rico, our renovation costs have pretty much doubled. Like we used to be able to renovate a full house start to finish for 30, 35 grand. Now we're 50, a base renovation. And that's a ceilings to floors, everything in between, some electrical, some plumbing. If we have to do all electrical and plumbing, it's 70 probably.
Yeah,
all right.
It's really fucking expensive.
All right.
Not depress ourselves.
Yep.
I want to cry now.
What's next?
Anyways, Manny says he's going to miss the meetup. He's going to be in Vegas. Had I known a few days earlier. Manny, we're sad to see you go. We're going to do this again. We do a meetup every quarter. So the previous quarter, we did the San Juan Social Cruise was our Apex meetup. And then we did the bus tour the quarter before that. So we will do something in just a couple months. But yeah, we'd love to have you there, man. Murat says he's going to be here. He's flying in from Alexandria, Virginia. Alexandria, Virginia, guys, that's DC. Is that right?
Yeah, that's DC pretty much. Just outside of. I think if you guys are on the island, we'd love to have you. It's pretty easy for you to make it. I hope that most of the people that are here on the island, I hope BK Breeze, and I hope the other people that are here on the island will make it. If you're having to fly in from way far out and you need to talk to us about places to stay, please let us know. We'll make sure that we give you a great deal, get you a place to stay that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg. And we really appreciate the fact that anyone would fly in. I really wasn't thinking that this was going to be a massive, huge event, but someone today asked me if there's 100. McKenna just said we've got 24 people who've already RSVP'd.
Excited.
Well, we've got another. Awalda is flying in from Irvine, California. Asked, do you pick up at the airport? Maybe I can catch a red eye from California to come to this meet and greet.
Holy cow.
We do not pick up at the airport, but we do have Uber. We can give you the address and come straight to the house, and then we'll figure out where you can stay.
Yeah,
Uber is very cheap. And then also, I think at our last event in December, Apex members were coordinating together and they were carpooling. So I know people will be doing that as well.
We should make a post about it and make sure everybody's commenting that's coming.
Yeah, but
that's why we've got the Eventbrite thing up. That's why we've got the post out there in Apex. If you guys are going to go, let us know so you sign up, because we really do need to dial in. You know, what are we going to do for food and drinks?
Dude, that neighborhood is gonna
also
love us so much.
This is a good point. I have to put your name on the list at the gate.
Yep.
Especially if you're coming in an Uber, you're not going to get through the gate if we don't know that you're coming. So please sign up ahead of time so that we can coordinate it.
I think it's twice that we've taken a Greyhound bus into that neighborhood.
Yeah, they do not love that.
No.
They're probably not going to like this. Like, why is Robert have 100 people?
I think this will be fine. I mean, we're in a cul-de-sac. We don't have any neighbors that we're going to bother.
We can talk.
In fact, we'll go and we'll invite the neighbors so that they can come over and
invite
be part of it.
And see the renovation.
Yeah,
that would be good.
Talk to the church about parking.
Yeah,
I'll even give them a discount, only $100 if they want to come.
There you go.
Jeffrey Glenn says, I'm here. Jeffrey, glad to have you here. Carmelo, I was born and raised in Ponce and currently live in Cape Coral, Florida. I'm considering investing back home and would like to know, does Ponce offer a strong real estate market for flipping and holding? And that was all a quote, apparently, from Carmelo.
I think holding is better than flipping over there right now, but it is getting better. We have the biggest cruise ship coming into Ponce right now.
I think Ponce might be the next big thing on the island. Like, so Ponce is the second biggest market on the island. Lots and lots of people live and work there. They've got an incredible port.
Great deals.
And now they're bringing in cruise ships, which is crazy good. And plus, it's a very charming little town. So I love the thought of investing in Ponce, knowing that they're about to blow up, assuming that the tourists are going to come. Everybody knows if the tourists come, things are going to get better in the area. Now, Ponce got hit hard with earthquakes, got hit hard with a couple hurricanes. There are deals in Ponce. We have not ever invested in Ponce, not because we don't like Ponce, it just hasn't worked out that we found a deal there yet. And we've kind of moved to the other side of the island where we're concentrating our efforts. But we have friends even in Apex. Kimberly Jackson is in
I was
Ponce.
about to say.
And I think there's a couple of other people. I think
I'm going to pull it up on the map. And look.
Campos is our I don't know if Zuhei's sister is a Campos still.
Rosalie, yeah.
Rosalie
But,
is in the Ponce area.
But Carmelo, if you're in Apex, reach out to Kim Jackson on Apex. She is a big investor down there. So she might give you a better idea of what Ponce is looking like right now.
And if you read Manny making moves there,
expansion of deep water Ponce ports combined with new industrial developments like pharmaceutical plants will boost commercial logistical real estate needs. Say that 4 times really fast.
Yeah, but I think it's right. You know, there's a lot of work coming there, and there's just going to be a lot of people coming into that side of the island, which is really great. I mean, it's very cool to see the island expand and have these ships showing up with tourists where they're going to spend money in different parts of the island rather than just
We should saw that,
pour into
BK.
San Juan.
BK just signed up for Apex, locked in.
Nice.
Target.
Breeze. All right, brother.
Target hospital emoji. Not sure what that means, BK. Murad says, could contractors from the mainland work on projects in Puerto Rico, or would they have to first be licensed in PR? I'm assuming they'd have to be licensed in PR.
Well, so there are people who are licensed in PR that you could connect with if you have people that you want to bring from the States. For us, we were really, really fortunate. When I came to Puerto Rico, my main guy was from the island. So Luis Martinez was working for me for about 2 years in Florida before I moved to Puerto Rico. And about 6 months after I got here, I called him up and I said, Luis, I can't keep investing in Florida right now for the foreseeable future because things are that much better on the island. Would you consider moving here? And he did. And he has been amazing for us. So as much as I bitch and moan about contractors, we keep 100 guys working every day. And Luis Martinez probably fires 300 guys a year in order to do that.
He does. He does do that.
And what
But
that
I
means
don't have
is
to, is my point. Luis is a GC. He's licensed. He takes care of all of the insurance and all of that stuff, and just keeps us out of trouble. And you know, he runs a tight ship. So
yeah,
and that's what you need. And so you only need one license on the job, right? If you're getting permits, you need the GC. But then the guys that they hire,
you have a licensed GC. You can have subcontractors.
Yep.
You can have handyman people that come in and renovate houses. I mean, how many houses have we renovated in Florida, McKenna, without ever pulling a permit? And I'm certainly not using licensed.
We've never done that.
And bonded, insured guys. I'm just hiring a guy who says he can fix things, and he goes out and fixes.
You should say that on the internet more.
Yeah, we've never done that, Dad.
We've always paid for permits. We always get the guy with insurance and license.
I've been permitting myself to work for a long, long time.
That's what I learned the first day of following Flip Flop.
You ever see that? You ever see that movie, Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah. Do you get a permit? Yes, I permit myself to work. Oh, yeah, that's how that works.
I heard somebody else say that one time, and I stole it. I love it.
Guys, and if you are looking for contractors, Jeannie and Bill, who are Apex members, they are looking to move to the island and do construction. So keep them in mind if you guys are trying to get stuff quoted. Carmelo asks, how much cash do I need to start a flip in Ponce, Puerto Rico?
Wow, that's
all depends on your
That's
deal.
A loaded question, Carmelo, because it really all depends on the deal that you're doing. Are you going to build a single family home that you go in and you buy for 40 or 50 grand and you're going to fix it up for another 40 or 50 grand and then sell it for 150 to 200? I think that deal is out there quite often for you, which would mean if you were going to come to the table with all of the cash yourself, you probably need 100 grand. If you don't have 100 grand and you can find the deal that I just talked about through our community, you could partner with people who do have the cash. So I don't want to ever discourage someone who's sitting there listening to us thinking they want to do this to say, hey, if you don't have this amount of money, you can't be a real estate investor. I completely do not believe that. I've done literally thousands of deals where the vast majority of the time I'm not using my own money. Even today, we're always partnering with people who have money.
Yeah.
When I first started out, guys, I had no job, no credit, and no money really. I mean, I partnered with two other guys, and we each had $3,000. So we had a grand total of $9,000, and we were able to buy a house. Now this is nearly 30 years ago. We were able to buy a house using a hard money loan, fix it up, and then we were supposed to flip it. It ended up being a rental property for a long time, and then I refinanced all the money out, bought out all the partners, and sold it down the road. But my point is, had I thought that I needed any money, I would have never done it. And not only that, but I bought the first house with the last $3,000 that we had, and the second house was the first time that I made money on it. And I borrowed all of the money on that second house. I got a hard money loan to purchase it, and I got a private lender to lend me the money to renovate it. So I had $0 in that deal because I had $0 to my name. And I fixed that one up and I sold it. And that was the first time we made money. And that all happened super quick. Like I went from being employed, making 50, 60 grand a year in a corporate gig, to being unemployed and a real estate investor in the span of like 2 weeks. And then within 2 months, I had made my first money in real estate and really never looked back. That was how McKenna ate. That was how McKenna's sister, we traveled around the world because of the money that we made in real estate. And I can remember starting out too, there were people like, if you go and you become a realtor, you can expect not to make any money for 6 months. And I was like, well, that won't work. How the hell am I going to speed that up? Right. So you guys, you can do this. I do not believe real estate's a get rich quick scheme. I do believe you'll get rich if you do it long enough. It may happen overnight one night, just maybe not
just in 20 years.
But I do believe that you can make really good money very, very fast. Emmanuel, who we showed the video at the start of this, he did his first deal and made 40 grand on his first deal. And again, unemployed, didn't have any money, borrowed even his deposit money from me. And he found a buyer, he sold it. And now he's on, like, I think we talked about it earlier today, he's on like deal number 7 or 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
Adon, you're on deal what, 8 or 9?
I'll say
And
yes.
Adon had some money starting out, but we've done millions of dollars.
This is what I've learned. When I use my money gets stuck, and I'll never see it again.
I've learned that too.
So,
my wife knows that too.
Yeah.
My wife still knows it. She's like, who's going in this deal? I'm like, oh, it's just us, honey. We're just going to put our money. No. And she'll literally say, call Garrett. I'm like, why do you want me to call Garrett? She's because if you put Garrett's money in it, I know that we'll get the money back.
Well, and there's reasoning behind that, because you will work harder to make sure that the people you partner with are all taken care of.
That's
100%.
Yeah.
Compared to like, well, it's my money and it's there, and it's okay, fine, it's there. And I would add one more thing to what you're saying. I think from our last master class with Jeff Murphy, he said, getting rich is not hard. You just got to do the thing that makes money a bunch of times. And eventually.
Over and over and over again.
And Carmelo, you don't need to put it out there, but if you've got some money, you have plenty of money to start. And if you've got no money at all, you don't need any money to start.
We get this message on your Instagram a lot right now. We're getting a lot of hate. And it's like, hey, how do you expect locals to do this? Our minimum wage is $10 and we don't have any money, and you're coming in and making everything too expensive.
You bastard.
Yeah, and you know what I say to that? I don't expect someone who's working for minimum wage to be a real estate investor.
No.
There hasn't ever been a time in recent history where someone who's making minimum wage is buying a house. That just doesn't happen. Minimum wage is meant for someone who's learning to do something, and you get paid at the lowest possible wage while you learn a skill set. And as soon as you've learned it, you need to get a raise, get a new job. You got to get out of that. If you're staying there and working for minimum wage for, even a couple of years, what the hell are you doing? You're just wasting your time. I would go so far to say this to people that are working for minimum wage. If you're thinking that you'd like to become a real estate investor, and that's all you're doing is making minimum wage, you could afford to quit that job, because you're not going to eat off of that. You're not going to live off of that. That's not like enough money to get by on. And if you go and put your efforts into this, you can make way more money than minimum wage. And that's what hopefully comes across on this YouTube channel, is we believe that anybody working for minimum wage is working in a broken system. I even go so far as to say anybody who's going to college and not getting the right few degrees that are actually going to help you in life, you're jumping into a broken system that's likely going to put you in debt and put you behind the 8 ball rather than give you the lift up that it used to. I think that there's other ways, and I'd much rather see a young person go learn a trade. I'd much rather see a young person go start any business at all, like go cut grass, go buy things at flea markets and then sell them on eBay. I don't know. There's just so many other ways to make money. It's so easy to make money right now. Anybody who says that they're stuck in this minimum wage job, either you really haven't figured out how to do something well enough that you deserve more money than that, or you're just not trying very hard to go figure out how to make money.
And that's what I wanted to say is you don't need the money to find a good deal. And if you find a good deal, you can find the money. There's people that have money that want them. And they will pay you for it. They'll partner with you on it, whatever. It doesn't matter. We've been going on for too long about this, though. To our next question from Scott McCoy. Q, what are the most common reno estimates? How much is a new bathroom, roof, flooring, etc.? For when making reno estimates, to ballpark an estimate to offer, to make an offer on a house.
Did you say $40 a square foot? Maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, I think I use $40 a square foot as a baseline quite often right now. When I walk through a house, just thinking about this question, Scott, and what I do as I walk through a house, if I see a bathroom that I think needs a complete remodel, I think that's $2 to $5 grand, depending on what I have to do with the plumbing underneath it. When I look at a new kitchen in a working class home, which is
$3,000,
a $250,000 or less home on the island of Puerto Rico, we're talking
$3,000
to $6,000
yeah.
for that kind of kitchen.
Floors, you're talking about what is it, like
A few bucks a square foot,
$5
$5 a square foot.
All in.
That should include all of your materials
And your installation.
and installation. $5 a square foot, you could get it done for. You
Yep.
will see wide varieties. Like there will be a guy who lays tile that wants $10 or $12 a square foot to do it. I can't pay the guy to do that. I'm
Then it
sorry,
takes
because
forever.
there's also a guy that'll do it for $1 or $2 a square foot. And then same with materials. I mean, tile is ridiculous. You could buy tile for $1 a square foot, or you could buy tile for $25 a square foot, or even more. So that's my rough estimation right now is everything needs 50 grand.
Yeah, I would say if
That's kind of like where I've gotten to. If I'm looking at a house that needs a bunch of work, it probably needs 50 grand.
I would say a duplex, easy, 50 grand. Single family home with more than 3 rooms,
Yeah.
50 grand.
So when I get these properties brought to me and they say you could buy it for this and it only needs $10,000, I'm like automatically on the defense going, I don't think I can do anything for $10,000. I used to be able to up until 2020.
Dude, just to paint the house is $10,000.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah. It's crazy. So these are good questions, Scott. What else we got, McKenna? Who's next?
Carmelo says, I'm also a licensed real estate agent in Florida. Can we do flips in this area before we do one in Ponce, Puerto Rico? Yes. I think you can definitely still do them in Florida right now. As you know, the market is slowing down here in Florida. That's where I am. But there are deals. There's still distressed properties. There's inheritance homes. There's foreclosures. There's tax deeds. There's a lot of ways to get into properties at a good price point. And if you're doing it correctly, the market doesn't matter. Just the numbers do.
Yeah, and we're knock on wood closing one tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Actually, I think Denise signed paperwork for it today, where we bought something subject to. We brought an estate out of foreclosure and rented the house out for a year. And then when the renters left, we put it on the market, even in the declining market. So we had about 50 or 60 grand invested in this of our hard cash. We sold the house and we're going to make about a $60,000 profit on a $60,000 investment. That's today in real time. And what I did there was I went on the market and I looked at the stuff in the neighborhood that was for sale. And even though there were more things on the market this year than last year, I just priced my house at the bottom of where they were at. So if there were 320 to 380, I priced at 320. That was, and I had a quick offer. We sold it right away. And there's other houses that are sitting on the market. I'd be very aggressive in my pricing, I guess, is what I'd say right now in Florida. I'm seeing things trending flat to down even. I think things are trending down, but I do think it'll correct as soon as interest rates come back down. I think it'll immediately recorrect.
Edith says, I'd like to bring up a point when possible. Edith, put it in the
Go
chat.
for it. Go, Edith, go.
Do it, Edith.
Our next question, let's see. A Wilda says 2,000 people are coming to the networking event.
That's great.
Well, that
I
would
hope
be
they all
something.
join Apex, or that catering bill is going to be out.
I mean, we're going to be in big trouble if 2,000 people show up. I don't know. I'll tell you what, it'll be a good problem to have, but we'll probably have to change venues.
Yeah, we'll have to go to the Conquistador and get
We'll
that
have to go to
ballroom.
609.
I don't know where we would go, but we'll figure it out.
We can find a nice field.
Get yourself and 1,999 of your favorite friends. Let's go. Let's do this.
Yep. Vasti says we'll be in Puerto Rico the week prior for Caleb's birthday, but we will try and make it to the next quarter meet and greet. Awesome.
All right, Vasti.
Glad you will
I'm
make
going to be, I think Adon and McKenna and I are all going to be in Chicago the week before this event, so I don't know if we'll be able to connect with you the week before.
I'm planning to not be in Chicago for too long. I think fly in Friday and fly out Monday or Tuesday.
I think that's our plan too.
Yeah, that's I was thinking fly in Thursday and do Chicago Friday, do the event Saturday, maybe do Chicago Sunday and fly home Monday.
Yep.
I've never been to Chicago, so I'm excited to go to Chicago and eat a bratwurst or something.
Yeah.
What do you do in Chicago?
Deep dish and
Yeah, get some good pizza and
And weird hot dogs.
hot dogs.
I'll take you to the best spots.
Yeah.
Good. Mario is coming. He's going to be there. Manny says, Carmelo, expansion of the deep. Okay, we already read that one about Ponce. Heather says, I'm wanting to start investing in rentals and flips. I have some capital, but I'm looking for a private lender or a DSCR.
Heather,
Join Apex.
are you doing that? Where are you doing that? Where? And just if you
someone
don't mind.
just join.
Oh, sweet. So look, if you are doing that on the island of Puerto Rico, I'm really, really happy to announce that there are finally DSCR loans. So if you want to invest in rental properties, which I think is a great idea, finally, and I mean finally, just now, I've been here for 7 years and there hasn't been anybody doing these DSCR loans until just recently.
They came back for a day.
They came back for a day. They went away for 6 or 8 months or a year. Now they're back again. So that's pretty sick. So congratulations on that. If you're in our group, there are other people that are interested in partnering with you, or you might be able to find private lenders in there. There are hard money lenders as well on the island. We've dealt with a company called Acrosant for big stuff, and there's starting to be some private people that are willing to lend to real estate investors. I saw an ad earlier you showed me where someone was advertising they had hard money on the island. So that's kind of showing up. That's pretty cool.
Michael Jordan Steakhouse.
Oh, it's good.
Get the reservation now. Do we need to do that ahead of time?
We should show up.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Tell him you play with them.
I never did.
I know, but you're tall enough to convince.
Yeah. Guys, if you want to meet with us in Chicago, just get us a reservation at Michael Jordan Steakhouse. Buy us dinner. We'll be there.
Oh, well, if you're gonna do that, I
get
can
us
suggest
the
other places.
reservation. I'll buy dinner. I don't care. I'd like to go. I mean, whatever's fun. I'm not buying dinner for everybody, but I'll buy dinner for
Suckling Pig by the lake.
Adon says, this is awesome.
I did.
Thanks,
say
Wow,
that.
Adon, nice. All right.
A Wilda says, help. I want to do this in Puerto Rico, but I'm on Section 8 here in Irvine, California, which I want to transfer to Puerto Rico. Do you have connections for Section 8 recipients? I also want to get out of Section 8 once in PR.
I love the goal. Wow. No, I mean, that is absolutely awesome. Congratulations for even having the foresight. I do not have a connection at Section 8, but I bet we could find somebody. So we're probably not
It's a different program.
We're probably not 1 or 2 degrees separated for somebody who knows that program inside and out and would be able to find a connection for you. I just don't happen to have one. We've done lots of Section 8 rentals on the island, but people come to us with their vouchers. You know, I would think you could probably ask your Section 8 person in California how to go about transferring to Puerto Rico. There must be some kind of way. I believe that it's a federal program.
I've had tenants come from out of state and use their out of state. I'm trying to remember what they did. They used their out of state representative to identify the house. I did the application with them, and then once they were approved to do it, I believe their out of state representative connected them with the local person to get them their voucher. But I was working with these people in North Dakota, so I don't remember how it worked, but it's something like that where you work with your local representative until you have a property identified. But
it's a federal program down here, but there is the government oversight of Puerto Rico that runs it. So I would start what McKenna said. Talk to a rep. If not, then I think there's the Vivienda website. You should be able to get in contact with someone there and probably get some information.
We just have to think about it. Vivienda is probably a good first
Vivienda is who subs that program.
Scott McCoy said, do you think the middle class will be pushed out of home ownership in Florida like in parts of California?
Yeah, once the new mayor in New York
Scott,
comes.
I think it's happening in real time. You know, you and McKenna have come up in an age where you can go to school, get a great job, and I think you can see this time and again where they come out of school and they've got a job making $100,000 a year, but the cheapest house on the block's $450,000, and they got some student loan and they don't qualify for a starter house. It's ridiculous that a starter house costs $400,000 or $500,000. And people on the island of Puerto Rico think they've got it bad, where a starter house may cost $150,000 to $250,000. And I get it. It's more expensive now than it was a little while ago, but it's only going to go up. It's just going to keep going faster and faster and getting farther away from us. That's why we're so big on entrepreneurship. That's why we're so big on investing in yourself and stepping out of these broken systems, because I think the middle class is being pushed out. There's a freaking phrase out there from our fearless leaders in government that says that over the next decade or two, we're going to own nothing and like it. And if that sounds good to you guys, if you want to live at that level where everybody's living the same and the government's helping you out, God bless you, and you go do that. But I'm going to sit that one out. I'm completely against owning nothing and liking it. If I own nothing, I'm not going to like it, and I don't plan to own nothing, and I don't think you should either. So you've got to figure out a way to make more money.
I have a question for you too. I was speaking to Scott last week. Do you think that, he's considering a career change, hasn't made any decisions about it yet? Do you think he should get into real estate, no background, no experience, or Scott's history? Do you think he should start an extreme travel company that can get you into Kazakhstan and Mongolia and Tibet? What do you think?
I mean, I know what I would like to do with Scott if he wanted to do it.
One would be fun.
And obviously the thing that's easiest for me to say is get into real estate, which, Scott, I think you can get into real estate and do that at the same time you do something. But I think because of your background in traveling the world and setting up mission trips for people, I think that is a lucrative venture to get into. And you've got to make money somewhere, right? And so I think it boils down to what do you love doing that? Like, I know what you've been doing for the last few years, Scott. Is that something you love doing? And then the difference that McKenna's talking about is like setting up this travel company to do it yourself.
I'll add in one more thing here, and this is just general advice. Whatever field you plan on going to, just add AI to it. Master AI, master the computer, because that's where it's all going.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's real estate, whatever. If you use it with AI, you'll definitely have an advantage over everybody else.
Yeah.
So
I like that. I use AI every day. And I'm just full of sayings where I don't give the people the credit who said them, but the things that I hear that I like, I just repeat them. I'm like a parrot. You're not going to be replaced by AI. You're going to be replaced by the person who knows how to use AI.
That wasn't a person. That was you.
Now,
I was there that day.
I said that.
Actually,
I said that after hearing it from someone else.
It was ChatGPT who told them.
So maybe it was ChatGPT.
No, I know it was. I read the script to you.
But that's awesome. You're not going to be replaced by AI.
You guys know the bad guy in the latest Mission Impossible? He's the guy that was controlled by the AI. It sounds like you two right now. Uh-oh.
What's that?
What did he say?
The bad guy in the latest Mission Impossible, he was working for the AI, doing the AI propaganda.
Yeah, I know.
Could be you two right now.
Well, there you go. Learn how to use it before they.
Scott, I know you're coming to visit us and talk about real estate in a month or so, and I look forward to those conversations. But a business model doing what McKenna said, extreme travel and going to places, that would be pretty fun. Plus, we could buy real estate all over the world too. Ooh, how cool would that be?
And this is true for everyone, guys. I think something to consider is, do you make money in real estate, or do you make money and then invest in real estate? Real estate's in the formula no matter what. I think it's a great place to invest. You can get huge returns that you can't get other places. But they're two very different things. You can make money doing anything. So just find what you're good at and what you like and do that a bunch. And if that happens to be real estate, that's great. And that's what we do. And
if you don't know, real estate's pretty easy. Real estate to me is kind of low-hanging fruit. It's once you get outside of the mindset that you can't do it because you don't know how, and you don't have a system, and you don't have any money, and you just don't know where to start.
It's the hardest part.
And that is the hardest part. If you can dump that mindset, real estate's the great equalizer. It's the easiest place to invest because other people will come alongside of you if you've got a great deal. The banks want to give you money. I mean, it's just. It really just has always been the great equalizer, the one that anybody could do it. So if you don't have something that you're passionate about, if you do, I'd first go do the passionate thing, make my active income, and then invest in real estate. But if you don't know what you're passionate about, become passionate about real estate. It's okay to be passionate about turning people into homeowners. I think that's a very worthwhile goal. That's one of the things that I've felt best about in life. Maybe one time ever someone will say that they followed Jesus Christ because they heard me talk about my relationship with Christ. Like, that would be amazing. Second to that would be someone becomes an entrepreneur, and third to that would be someone becomes a homeowner. Those are the three things that I want to do in life.
So Edith just spoke with the owner of a 7-unit, and they'd like to speak to us privately. Edith, send us a message on school, either to me, Robert, or Adon, and we can make that happen.
Yeah, let's have that conversation for sure.
Mario says, have you ever bought a foreclosure in Florida from here in Puerto Rico?
I've not only done that, Mario, but I've said this on other content, I'm pretty sure that I'm the only person in the world that's bought a foreclosure house live at the auction in Puerto Rico, and the very same day bought a foreclosure house online in Florida.
I was there,
and
it's true.
That was a lot of fun for me.
Yep.
That was a lot of fun for me. So yeah, I have done that. I haven't really been looking at the foreclosures in Florida at all for the last couple of years. I think I'll start to look at them. If things continue to get worse in Florida, then I'll definitely jump back into the foreclosure scene over there because there'll be more opportunities.
Carmelo says, since comps and reliable data can be hard to find in Puerto Rico, how do you accurately estimate your offers, repair cost, and ARV to ensure you're selling at a profit?
Yeah, that's such a great question, Carmelo. Those are the questions that you have to ask yourself. Really, those are the only questions that you need to ask, right? Are we buying it right? So when the data is hard, then we're going to offer at a lower price. So if we're in Florida and data's easy, 70 cents on the dollar for after repaired value is pretty easy to figure out, minus your repairs, your cost of repairs. That has been a winning formula for decades. For any real estate investor, they'll tell you that if you can consistently do that, you make a bunch of money. On the island of Puerto Rico, we came here and we were offering 40 cents on the dollar from asking price when we first got here. And 3 out of our first 5 offers got accepted. And that first year we started offering 20 cents on the dollar. By the end of the year, we bought between 50 and 80 properties at like 32 cents on the dollar from asking price. So if they were asking 100,000, we ended up at the end of the year buying at like $32,000 a house. So you lower the amount that you're going to offer. You want to have a wider spread because you just don't have the knowledge. You can't be sure of it. A couple of things that I did when I came to the island, and this is, the lights were out, the data was hard. There was nothing really good about the situation that I put myself in when I came to the island. Now everything's got better. The lights are on most of the time. The data's gotten way better, even though we say data kind of sucks on the island of Puerto Rico. You can go online and look on Zillow and now see sold comps. You couldn't do that, guys, a month ago. You can do that today. You can go online and use Red Atlas and find sold comps. What are the other sites that you use?
Find the PR, and you can. The one I like also is the CRIM.
Yeah,
it's the government tax website, so that's a good place to go find stuff too.
Yeah, and then it took me 4 years during COVID. I knew what it cost to renovate my entire life. I knew what it cost to renovate a broken down building, right up all the way through 2019. 2020 happens, and it was like I just couldn't figure out what it cost to renovate. We were wrong every single time for about 4 years. Then we finally figured it out. We adjusted for inflation, and Mr. Trump decided that he's going to tariff the world. And so now we're terrified that we don't know again. So you have to be thinking, if you think it looks good and easy, you have to have lots of spread in your variable. You know, you always have a oh shit clause in any estimate. Used to be that we'd do 5 or 10% of like, what if we mess up? Now I'm thinking 10, 15, 20% is a safe number. So that's why I said earlier, if I look at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot house, my default is going to be that's probably going to be close to 50 grand to renovate that. Pre-2019, I could renovate the same house for 2025.
And guys, when you have that oh shit clause, the cushion there, if nothing goes wrong, you just make that as extra profit.
You get to make more money. Yeah.
You get to make more money. It's always worth doing it. It's safer to do it that way. And it makes you buy better deals. So keep it in mind.
One thing I did, Carmelo, when I first came to the island and really, really didn't know the market. I feel like I know the market pretty well on the island of Puerto Rico at this point. I don't think I know it quite as well as I do Orlando, Florida, but I feel pretty confident about the San Juan metro area, about the areas where we've consistently invested our dollars. I'm pretty good at knowing what things are going to sell for after renovation just because I've done enough of it. But when I first started out, I didn't know any of it, and data was hard. I invited people to partner with me, and when they would bring me deals, I asked them to invest their money in the deals. And if they would invest their money in the deals, it was a good indicator that they were confident and knew what they were talking about. And we still do deals with those guys today that we met like day one, week one of arriving on the island of Puerto Rico. So that's a phenomenal way for anybody who's coming into a new market. Tell people you're a real estate investor. Ask people to bring their deals to you. If they'll invest with you and put their money where their mouth is, it's a good indication that it's a good deal.
All right. Is it commonplace for wholesalers to require a non-disclosure before they share their properties with you?
Is it commonplace for wholesalers to require a non-disclosure before they share their properties with you? No, that's not common. I mean, that happens on bigger deals.
Seems like if they don't have it under contract.
If they don't have something under contract, and if it's a bigger deal.
Yeah, when I look at apartment buildings, every apartment building makes me do that. But yeah, on a house, they're usually blasting it out to 10,000 people on their email list. They're not very secretive.
And they blast that out to
non-disclosures too, is when we're buying hospitality projects and we're trying to chase down, what is their top line revenue versus what is their expenses, and get to something close to the net revenue, because we know that we're going to be painted this cherry picture. And will have to sign non-disclosures on that. So I think that makes sense with the apartment complexes. If you're buying hospitality, if you're buying businesses, people aren't going to want to just disclose all of their stuff with you and then have you put it out there to the world. But a wholesaler who's got a single family house in Conway, Florida, where McKenna is right now, I've never once been asked to sign a non-disclosure for that. And if I were, I'd probably just say, it's just not, not worth my time.
Too much work.
Yeah, I don't want to have to fight with you over your non-disclosure. Either you want to tell me what it is and sell it to me, or you don't.
The way that I recently have been looking at deals, guys, and I think it's made me a better investor, is I am looking for every reason to say no. And the moment I get one, I just say no. So if it's too much effort for me to get the data and underwrite it because they need me to sign 25 pages of my life away, it's not the deal for me.
I think that's absolutely right, McKenna. And we talked about this. We've talked about this kind of often. If we aren't saying, damn it, we have to buy this because it's just so good, then we should say no. And we're in a position that we can say no, guys. So we get that. We're not starting out. And if you're just starting out, you should be
trying to do your first deal.
You should be trying to do your first deal. And if you make a few dollars, it's worth doing it. For us, if we're going to do, certainly if we're going to do big deals, they just have to be so stupidly good that we have to say yes, or we are trying to practice saying no.
Yeah.
Because they take up your time. And when you're doing your first deal, you have all of the time in the world, right? Your time is, just to say it, not very valuable yet. But as you start doing more and more deals, now you have a lot of time that's being sucked up in things you're already doing, and your remaining time becomes more valuable. So you have to guard it. But that's real estate 201. Once you're doing a few more deals than one. Fred says, hey, I've been watching you all for a few days. I'm interested in investing in Puerto Rico. My wife is from Ponce, and I'm looking to invest. Can we talk?
Yes,
Fred. Join our free community.
Nope. Join Apex before the price goes up.
All right.
And
join Apex before the price goes up. That's probably good advice because it's $30 cheaper.
I mentioned
this
before, guys. If you're not in Apex, it's going to be really tough to meet you. But if you're in Apex, we'll fly to you if it's possible.
And Fred, I don't know if you were here at the start, but we're doing a meet and greet on the 19th in San Juan. Apex members are all invited. You can bring your wife.
Where's the link?
I put the link to join Apex in here. I'll put the Eventbrite link as well. If you don't want to join Apex and you just want to come to the meet and greet, you can. There is a fee, though.
The meet and greet, that's a great place. I mean, look, that's where I'll be. I'm pretty easy to find. I'm at church on Sunday.
Pretty easy to spot.
I'm looking at real estate every day in between Sundays, and then we're going to have a meet and greet in July.
That's
there
right.
You go.
Oh, and we'll be in Chicago at some point.
And you can take us to the Michael Jordan Steakhouse.
Yeah, if you don't want to join Apex and you don't want to be a part of our thing, you just want to have a dinner with us, we're going to be in Chicago around the 11th. Get the reservation, and we'll come have dinner with you.
I can't wait for someone to actually do that. You know it's going to happen one day. We're going to make that joke, and someone's like, all right, I booked it. I lost the track here. Let's see. A while that says, thanks, Adon. Thanks, Mr. Krager. You guys are so amazing and generous with your information. That's why God continues to bless this company. Well, thanks very much. We appreciate that.
And I love your goal of getting off Section 8, becoming a real estate investor. That's awesome. I think that is incredible.
AMV Anime says, hey, actually they said, hi, I want to make an offer on a distressed house in Coupe San Juan that's owned by a distant relative. Where do I start? I don't know where to find the comps, and I don't have access to know how. The first thing you need to do is call your distant relative and say, hey, I'm your third niece twice removed by your, second cousin. Doesn't matter. I want to buy your house in Coupe. Will you give it to me?
Yeah.
That's where.
Yeah,
you start.
I really think that conversation is the very first one that you have. It doesn't matter what it's worth. It doesn't matter what condition it is. None of the stuff matters unless your distant relative is willing to sell
Yep.
and willing to sell to you. And so that is absolutely where I would start first. If you get a yes, I'm willing to sell, then the natural next question would be to them, how much will you take? And let them tell you. And then once you know what you could buy it for, then ask all of these other questions and figure out if it's a good enough deal to make them an offer. That doesn't mean that you have to, just because they say I'd take this, you're still going to be able to go to the market and figure out what it's worth and look at it and figure out how much work it's going to take to get it to be worth top of the market. And you just want to make sure that you're talking to somebody that's willing to make a deal.
Yeah.
And if you're looking
for
for comps,
family, you might be able to get lending from them, some kind of family deal on, they'll come in and you do the work, they put in the property, you do a split. It's a big advantage to be related to a homeowner like that.
Oh my God, it's such a huge advantage. Like, I have absolutely zero chance to buy this house in Coupé.
Yeah.
I don't know your distant relative. I don't know about this house in Coupé. Even if I did, I wouldn't take the time to call your distant relative and try to find it. But if you do all of that and you have a great deal and then you need to figure out how to pay for it or something, and you're a part of our community, we've got a whole bunch of people that would talk to you about partnering on something like that. You have the driver's seat to finding the way to get this deal done in Coupé. And it's a huge advantage that you are related to someone who owns it.
some free resources for comps are Find the PR. Zillow now offers comps. And if you're looking for more recent sales and can't find them, it's just jump into the CRIM website and start clicking around the house you want and see what people have sold for recently.
We were doing that earlier today.
Yeah.
We were looking at properties we own and then clicking on the thing next to them and seeing what they recently sold for, or what they sold for 90 years ago. It's there. It's there for you. So there is data now. People for years and years have said there's no data on the island of Puerto Rico. And while it's still not as good as it is in the States, there is now
Starting
data.
to show up.
There is data. So
That is pretty cool.
I hope that you get a hold of your distant relative and that you find out that you can make the deal of a lifetime. So good luck with that.
Yep.
I just put the link for Apex, which the price is going up. Join right now. The price goes up tomorrow, guys. But the reason I bring it up is we do a Tuesday live call, and you could bring your house onto that Tuesday show. We can run through the comps with you. We can go over the numbers, tell you what we'd offer, how we'd structure it. If you need a little bit more coaching, we do that on Tuesdays. Links in the chat. But I think that's a really good property. That's a good opportunity. So good luck. I want to hear more about it.
Great way to start. This will be my deal structure, and I'm trying to get a deal like this. I'm gonna get one where the owner stays in for a certain amount of the property.
Puts the house into the price.
Puts the house in a price, and then we split profits.
Yeah.
I just gotta go find the renovation money.
That's an arbitrage deal, or what do they call that? A novation or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a really good
That's
way
what
to
it's called?
structure. Yeah.
A novation.
What was that?
Jeannie says,
I made my first 13 calls. Holy mackerel. Way to go.
Woo-hoo. A month ago,
I had no clue about real estate.
Jinx.
Yeah.
Thank you all. I appreciate this program. Bill is going to go do the numbers and then make offers.
Yeah.
That-
Awesome, Jeannie.
That is freaking awesome. 13 freaking calls in a day. Now, I challenge you to make 13 more calls tomorrow, and Bill does the numbers. And now you're making offers on 26 houses, and do 13 calls the next day and the next day and the next day. Keep making those offers, guys. You're going to get the deal. I mean, it's impossible not to get the deal if you just make 13 calls a day and make offers on all of those things. Or you don't even have to make offers on all of them, right? Like, so some of them you did the calls and you know that there's no reason to make the offer. Mark that, note it, move on. You don't have to make the offers. You want the motivated sellers, and when you find them, you make the offers. If you do that enough times, that's the formula. You will get a deal. That just is the way it is.
And Jeannie, let me know if you're using the CRM. I'd love to know if it's helpful. Make a little video or
Are Jeannie and Bill part of the beta?
Oh yeah, I think they.
I just got my email to them. I'm gonna sign up.
What it on?
I just got my email today for the CRM. So
You just got it?
I just got it.
You should have
You just
gotten it
saw
like
it.
3 days ago.
I just got it.
I'll have to see why it took so long. But man, he said Red Atlas was supposed to change the game on reporting accurate info on properties and market in general to help us make better decisions. Is it working?
Red Atlas is working, but from my understanding, they want to be like basically the stellar. What do you call it? They want to be the MLS for Puerto Rico.
Oh, really? Is that what the
that's
direction
really-
they're going now?
That's what I have understood that they want to do. It's not necessarily a comping website.
So they're looking to be they're looking to be a marketplace.
Yes.
That's a shift from, and maybe we can have him back on and interview him and find out. I think Red Atlas is working, and for a while there, for the last 2 years, I think they were the best game in town.
Yeah.
Now that we're seeing Zillow start to put stuff out there, and you can use Zillow and it's free. Well, there's two things. One, hallelujah, you can use Zillow and it's free. But also Red Atlas's info should get better as well, because they're going to scrape all of that stuff anyways.
Red Atlas is more powerful in the sense that they'll actually provide deeds and stuff, and most of
they do a lot more than
permitting
just
stuff. Yeah, so it's very different. If you're just looking for a quick number, anything else works. But if you're going into detail,
I would say you've moved away from using Red Atlas, right?
I use it. It's just it's faster for me to use other websites. What I do is if I'm really trying to dial in my number, then I jump into Red Atlas.
Yeah.
Red Atlas has this feature which I like very much. They do a basically what a realtor does, like a market analysis,
A comparative market analysis.
for the one property I'm looking for. And most of the time it's pretty good. Sometimes it's grabbing stuff from everywhere.
Yeah.
But that's the feature I prefer.
We used it when we were going to the foreclosure sale.
I use it
with
a lot
title stuff. You'll look at that to see if you agree. You'll try and compare data points to make sure that you think that you're looking at a first mortgage or a second mortgage, or whether taxes are owed, that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. So we love Red Atlas, and hopefully they continue to improve. I didn't know they're trying to become a marketplace. That's pretty cool if they can do it.
Brand new
if they pull it
features
off.
and stuff. It's just been
and they're always expanding.
Yeah.
Henry's awesome. He's really good.
Sorry, guys, I got distracted.
got distracted.
I have to go to dinner soon, so guys, put in your last questions here for me. I don't know how long you guys want to stay in the closet, or if you plan to come out of the closet, but
are you ever gonna come out of the closet? We can come out together.
I'll walk out of this closet tonight, and I'm gonna eat tacos.
That's true. There's tacos just by the store. You just gotta have the courage to walk out of the closet.
You just gotta come out of the closet.
Let's pick the next 3 or 4 best questions and then be done.
All right. So put some more questions in the chat, guys. And if it's a good one, I'll pick you. What if you find a building that is abandoned but not for sale and can't get any info from the internet? Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are tough.
Vastly, I see those like every day. I drive by them. In my opinion, it's just not worth fighting the fight to find the information on something that's not for sale, especially in a place where there's enough things that are for sale and there are enough great deals of all kinds, whether it's housing, whether it's restaurant businesses, shopping centers, or
there's a lot
hospitality. It just doesn't matter. There's enough of them that are for sale. I would just move on to the ones that are for sale, unless you've got a distant relative that owns it or something, and you think there's some like magic juice that you can implement.
I've gone down this rabbit hole. If you at least want to find the names, just go to the CRIM website, use the digital map, and try to see if you can pull a name from there. And if you can get that step and try to use, what do you call them? Skip tracers?
Skip tracer. Yeah.
But let me tell you, you know how many people are called Rivera on this island? Have a last name, Rivera, Gonzalez? Good luck.
And Vasti, my friend Juan Perlam almost exclusively buys properties like this, where he hunts down the heirs and he works on these properties for 2 or 3 years before he gets them. But then when he gets one,
it's amazing.
He gets paid. He gets the best deals that you can imagine. I'm not willing to do that, especially because of what I said earlier. There are so many other things that are much more low-hanging fruit, much easier and I can make money on a dozen things that are for sale, while Juan fights for 2.5 years to get one thing, down the road.
And it's 2.5 years
But-
of money out of your pocket.
And he
too.
spends
It's
money
not-
on it, puts his time in it, his efforts,
Yeah.
and then a lot of times he doesn't even end up getting the deal. But when he gets the deal, it makes it all worth it. For me, it's just not a business model that I've been willing to go down. If you would like an introduction to Juan because you feel like it's something that you want to do, he is an Apex member, and I can make an introduction to you. He's one of the nicest guys I know. He
Juan
won't.
tried to get me to marry his daughter. That's how nice he is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was like, McKenna, I want to set you up on a date. I'm like, okay, who's it with? My daughter.
There you go. He wanted tall
So
grandchildren.
if you want to meet him, I think the daughter got married, but if you want to meet him, I'll introduce you to him, Basti.
He's a very nice guy. And he's really, really good at real estate, guys. I mean, Juan gets probably the best deals I know of on the island of Puerto Rico.
Consistently,
Yeah.
we see Juan do great deals.
Yeah. Fred says, thanks. I've been trying to buy some land there for a while. I might make it there. I just got approval for a loan. Very cool. Fred, let us know when you want to come to the island. We'd love to connect. Jeannie says, thank you, McKenna. Went into the Orange data system. It's $200 per property. I need to register. Is this what you mean? If not, I need the info.
I don't know what the Orange data system is. What's that?
Yeah, I don't know what
Orange
that
data
is
system.
either, Jeannie.
Orange County?
No, no. Orange County, no county website should be charging you anything.
Yep, they're free.
I don't know what the Orange data system is, or where you're being asked to pay $200, but be careful.
Yeah, there's nothing that should be charging you money. If you are speaking about foreclosures and taxed, Manatee County, Florida, if you're talking about the foreclosure and tax deed, that would be free. Let me get the site for you.
Realforeclose.com.
Yep.
Realforeclose.com. It'll pull up all kinds of county sites, all the tax deed, not all the tax deeds, but several tax deed sales throughout the state of Florida.
Hey.
Very, very many of the foreclosure sales throughout the state of Florida.
Speaking of abandoned homes, we had someone on Facebook reach out. He's a lawyer. His name is Gary Jones, lawyer notary. I watched one of your videos regarding forced inheritance in Puerto Rico. My office may assist you in regards of such legal process. Feel free to call me in my office anytime for legal consultation.
My goodness, that video has blown up.
I did
a thing about forced inheritance on a little short, maybe 2 years ago, and over the last 3 or 4 days, it's gotten hundreds of thousands of views for no reason at all. All of a sudden, it's just going nuts.
It's just great commentary.
It's going nuts, and I'm getting more gringo hate than ever before. But God bless them.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what? I did a live before the live today, guys, because I was getting so much gringo hate on Facebook. I thought I'd invite them to come and ask questions, and I didn't even have one hater show up. What the heck is wrong with
What
the
a
world?
disappointment.
You probably did it too early. They were all asleep.
That's probably, it was daylight.
Yeah,
Vampire haters.
that's right.
All right.
Jeannie, I just put the link to the Manatee Real Foreclose website. This is a free site. It'll have the auction for the next forever. It doesn't look like Manatee has a tax deed on here. I think it's just foreclosure.
No, Manatee does a combination of tax deed and foreclosures. If you look at it, it'll have both.
That's how you know he's the expert, guys. He's not even looking at it, but he knows that Manatee County can buy.
I've bought tax deed houses and foreclosure houses in Manatee.
It's the only one that is like that I know of. Monica says, is there a similar site for Pinellas?
Yes.
Not only is there a similar site,
It's the same site, Monica.
same website. Yep.
Same
Man,
site.
he had to cut me off, steal my
Sorry.
mojo there.
That's what he loves to do.
I just cut people off.
He gets so excited. He's like, oh, you were saying something? Not as loud as me.
Yeah. Monica, just click that same link, make an account, and then in the bottom left, there's a thing called Jump To, and you can jump to any county in Florida. And so anybody that's watching this right now, this is how Robert bought 3,000 properties in Florida. It was in person, but then it was this website. So go on there, make a free account, look at auction properties, call people, make offers, get something under contract, come on the Tuesday show, get funded on the Tuesday show, flip a property, make $100,000.
Hey, Monica,
And
did
then
we
do it
find
again.
out about the boat dock for our property?
Monica is working on it. Monica has the some kind of plat from the county that she's now taking to the city again. That's supposed to help us figure out the boat dock situation.
Okay.
Any other announcements or anything
Did
before we
tell
go, guys?
Monica that you have a buyer if we get a boat dock?
I did.
Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Well, final announcements. The price is going up tomorrow, so join now.
McKenna, twice sorry. No, go ahead.
It's
I don't
okay.
mean to cut you off.
That's too late now. I forgot.
Look at this from Manny. Manny said, joined Apex today. Paid the full year. It's a no-brainer.
Hell yeah,
All right,
Manny.
Manny,
We
making
saw
moves.
that.
That's a big move. Nice
Yeah,
job.
That's a power move.
That's what I
powerful.
say. If you want to be committed, just pay the whole year. And it's not just saying that because we want to see people pay the full year. It's too easy to pay month to month and not show up to do the work. So when you put your money where your mouth is,
Yeah, it's painful.
it's
$1,000.
it's either make my money back or spend the money and never
Let's
see
go
it
make
again.
some money though.
Yeah.
I want to do deals. We want to do deals. We're saying no to a lot of them, but we're trying to find partnerships inside of Apex, and we're seeing a lot of it getting done, guys. So
We're seeing deals we didn't even know were happening.
I mean, showing up and they're like, "Yeah, we're partners on this other thing." We're like, wow,
I didn't
Yeah,
know that.
we have to do some kind of survey and figure out what deals have been done, make a map of them, get some photos. It'd be a
What do
fun
you call? We got to do a census.
A census.
So look, we have 38 people watching and 30 likes. That's really good.
We need
But
8
But
more.
I love 8 more likes. McKenna, I'm sorry. The last time I was cutting the Don off, as he was saying something intelligent. I've twice sent you a text from someone about a house in the Villages that we could do a sub-2 deal on.
Yeah, I looked at it.
I think it's a deal, a wholesale deal, not a deal we want to buy. And I wanted to get your opinion. So look at it and let's talk about it later.
I looked at it. My one buyer for the Villages wasn't interested, so I gave up. But
Give up so
I do
Oh
think
my
you're right.
God.
I think there's definitely a deal there.
Why don't we do this? I'll tell you what, just let's run that deal through the Shark Tank tomorrow night.
Okay.
And let's
And
see.
hey, if anybody's watching this now and you want first dibs, if you want a really good deal, I won't even say that. If you want a deal in the Villages, I think it's pretty exciting. Send us a message on school and we'll talk to you about it.
It's got some equity. It's got a great loan. It's a sub-2 deal, but it's actually an assumable VA loan. And I think it's a reasonable amount of money down. Like, do you remember what I had in the text? $75,000, something like that is the down payment to get the wholesaler out and get yourself in it, get the thing caught up. It's in the rears a little bit.
$75.
$75,000.
Oh, I was like, what?
Yeah. If it was $75, I guess I'd do it just so that
I
we don't
know,
profit for
just-
$75. We'll just take it. But
Just take the money out of your
it's in
nightstand.
an area that has not slowed down, I don't think, and it's just kind of gone nuts for the
I
last.
think the Villages is like a unique bubble in Florida, guys, that it's its own world.
That's a Disney thing, right?
No,
No,
that's it's the old people that they call it.
It's the
Old
STD
Old
capital.
people Disneyland, yeah, like
Oh.
It's the STD
it's where
capital. of
swingers go to
Florida,
die.
man. Yeah. They just party and party and party
over
and
there.
play golf.
Nice.
They golf and party, and then party
Yep.
some more. Any other questions?
I think that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Whoa.
What I was saying was Apex price goes up. And if you want to join us July 19th at the McMansion, click the link or join Apex.
If you want to come just for the day, we put a price of $200 on it. We'd love to have you. 250? Is that what it is? What we put it out there? I don't know. 215?
with taxes.
I don't know. Around $200. But if you're in Apex, you get to come for free. And the price of Apex is going up. And
Tomorrow, 12 hours.
tomorrow night,
tomorrow.
we're going to do the Deal Maker Shark Tank. So that should be good. That should be fun. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, guys.
Real estate Shark Tank.
This is Emmanuel, and in just 3 weeks, he found the deal of a lifetime, negotiated an offer, got it accepted, found the EMD from a third party, me, and then found the buyer to sell it. Now, how did he do all of that? He's a member of the Flip Flop Flipper Apex community. And inside of Apex, he was able to find the buyer who's an operator. He was able to find someone who wanted to put up the money, and he's got the deal of a lifetime done, and is going to make $40,000 on his very first deal. So if that sounds good to you, and you want to be like Emmanuel, comment Apex, and I'll send you the link.